Hey guys, welcome back to another yoga asana session. Hope you've been practicing well and reaping some of the benefits of practice for your body and mind. Today, I designed a class mostly focused on hip and groin mobility and opening. And as always, we'll have a little warm up, focus on the breath, and then a couple rounds of sun salutation, and then moving into a sequence of different postures focused on our area of focus for the day. So today we'll actually start in child's pose. And since we're focusing on the hips and groin, you can spread your legs, your knees out wide, and then walk forward with your hands, opening up the chest toward the ground. And then come into your breath awareness, taking a moment before we go into the warm-up to center yourself on your breath. Just be with it and witness the rise and fall of the inhale and exhale, and the different sensations in different areas of your breath. The nose and throat, how it feels on your back and chest, and down through the abdominal region. And as always, trying your best to maintain this breath awareness for the rest of the practice, as you can pair it with each movement, go deeper into your poses as well as deeper into a more meditative mind-body fusion state, increasing your capacity for focus as well as mindfulness and relaxation. Now walk your hands up just a little bit to bring the knees back into about hips width, and we'll be from here rolling in and out of half plank from child's pose. And as we roll up on an inhale, flex the spine upward. And on your exhale, roll forward into half plank. And pull the chest forward and down, making those cat-cow movements here in half plank. And then inhale, round back, up with the spine, and down into child's pose, where you can exhale. Inhale, lift the hips, flex the spine upward, and as you roll out into your exhale, pull the chest forward and gaze a little upward. And inhale, flex the spine back upward, and roll down into child's pose. And do a few more of these at your own pace, following your breath. Just being very slow and mindful. Once you complete your last round, we'll meet back in child's pose. I'll just give a moment for everyone to meet back in the child's pose. And then walk your fingers into Vajrasana on your heels. And for a moment, tuck your toes in to warm up the back of the arches. And if you even just need to stay here, if they're really tight, that's fine, but you can also play around with leaning a little more of your hips weight back for a deeper stretch. And if you can come to sit on them, that's good. But if you're feeling enough here, listen to your body and stay there and just breathe through the opening in the arches for a little bit. And then come forward into tabletop. And we'll start to warm up the wrists. Just make little circles over the wrists. Just starting to warm up the joints. And as you go, you might increase the size of the circles, but taking care to not overextend if you have any tenderness or past injuries in your wrists. Next time you reach the top, you can reverse direction. And come back to center. Flip your palms, fingers to face backward. And if just staying straight up isn't deep enough of a stretch for your forearms and wrist, that's fine to stay there. But again, you can play around with starting to lean a little bit of your hips weight backward for a deeper opening, but just start slow. And maybe after a couple breaths, you can slowly release more of your weight back for a deeper opening. And you can have your feet pointed out or tucked again if you want to work on your arches more. Gently come back to neutral with the hips and slowly come out, taking care of your wrists. And then just for a brief moment, we'll do a counter stretch, flipping the top of your palms on the ground. A lot of times this is a little more intense, so staying straight up might be the ticket. But again, you can slowly release more of your hips weight backward if they're already pretty open and you need more of a stretch. And again, gently come out. Sit back for a moment. And gently let your wrists repose in any way your body's craving. And then walk forward. Tabletop. Straighten your right leg. Start to warm up the back of the right leg by pulsing back and forward, pointing the toes, flexing the heel backwards so you can Feel a nice opening on the arch as well as the calf. And continuing to warm up the wrists back and forth. And then place your right knee down and come into the left side. Slowly pulsing back and forth. Place your left knee back down. And then face the lengthwise side of your mat. Bring your right leg out to the side. With your middle of your arch roughly in line with your left knee. And we'll be flowing in and out of gate pose following the breath. So on an inhale, raise your left arm next to the ear. And exhale, slide your right arm down the right leg. And come into a side stretch on the left. Exhale back to center. Place your left hand down in line with the shoulder. And inhale the right arm overhead or towards the front, pressing into your left hand to keep from punching forward. And stay active down your right leg, down through the side of the right foot. Exhale, use your core to come back to center. And inhale back over to the right. Breathing into the left ribs. Exhale to center. Inhale overhead to the left. Exhale to the center, and one more time on each side. Inhaling your left arm overhead. Exhale to the center, activating the core. And last time over to the left. Exhale back to the center. Bring your right foot in. And I forgot to mention, if you have tender knees, make sure to put a comfortable blanket under the knee that you're placing weight on. And we'll set up for the other side. Bringing the left foot out, straighten the leg. Press actively down through the heel and the outer edge of the left foot with your arch roughly in line with the knee. Place your hand on your left leg and inhale the right arm up. And exhale, slide your left hand down the leg and side stretch over to the left. Exhale back to center and place the right hand down. Inhaling the left arm overhead. Exhale back to center and over to the left. Exhale and inhale. Exhale, and one more time each side. Inhaling the right arm overhead. Keep nice and open in the chest. Exhale to center, and inhale over to the right. Exhale, press into your hand, activate the core to come back to center, and bring your knee in, and face back to the front of the mat from tabletop. And from here, we'll move into tiger pose. And this time we'll just hold it statically for a few breaths. So on your next inhale, find balance in your left hand and wrist. And simultaneously inhale your right arm and left leg up. And try your best to maintain a straight line through arm, torso, hips, and back leg. And balance and breathe here for a few breaths. On your next exhale, place the hand and foot knee down and come into the left arm side, inhaling your left arm and right leg. Exhale and knee down. Straighten both legs into plank. And then spread your fingers nice and wide. Activate through all four corners of the hand and then press away into the hands to lift the hips up into downward dog, where you can be fluid and making any sort of movements you want to continue just to warm up and open the chest, open the back of the legs and the upper back. Even the neck. And then look forward. Start to tiptoe to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Hanging heavy. The partnerless marionette. And then slowly on your next inhale, bend a little into the knees to support your hamstrings and slowly roll up, uncoiling vertebra by vertebra, all the way to the top. Breathe into the chest. And exhale your hands down to the side. Into Dasana. Taking a moment to witness your breath again. Recenter yourself. For the sun salutations and the main sequence, scanning your body for any openings you already might have felt from the warm-up, as well as any areas of tightness that you need to either be careful of for the practice or want to work on and go deeper into the poses in that area. From Tadasana, we'll move into our first sun salutation. On an inhale, bend slightly into the knees. Inhale the hands overhead. Slight back bend here. And exhale forward, staying long in the spine and hinging at your hips into a forward fold. Knees slightly bent to support the hamstrings, still warming up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale down and step the right foot back, setting up for high lunge. Feet hips width apart. Knee over the front heel. Inhale the arms up, and then focus on your back leg, trying to straighten it as much as you can, pressing down through the back heel. And since we're focusing on the hips and groin, if you focus on that back leg, staying active, you'll feel much deeper groin opening, especially in the psoas muscle. From here, if it's comfortable for your lower back, reach up on an inhale, and then from your thoracic region, your chest, come into a slight back bend, maintaining posture and activation in your legs. And exhale, fold forward over the front leg. And just for a moment, straighten through the left leg. And rebend into the knee. Work your left foot back into plank. And lower through chaturanga, or knees, chest, and chin down to the ground. Coming straight away into cobra on an inhale. Activating your back muscles first and then gently pressing into the hands. Hugging the shoulders in, or hugging the elbows in. Exhale down. And press up into plank or tabletop. And up and away into downward dog. Active through all corners of the hands and fingers, pressing away into the mat. Pressing your chest towards the ground. And more of your weight into the lower half of the body. And gaze forward. Work your right foot to the top for high lunge. Aligning your knee and heel. Raising up and inhaling the arms next to the ears. And then bringing your focus to the back leg. Straightening a little more through. Pressing down through the heel. So you get more of an opening in the psoas. And then once you have activated that back leg, keep it in place and you might be able to sink a little further into the front knee and feel a deeper groin and psoas opening. And then from here, if your lower lumbar spine is okay with it, inhale and reach, and then come into a back bend, focusing on your thoracic area, maintaining posture in the legs. Exhale down. Maybe step your left foot in just a little bit, and then pulse, or actually first, straighten through the right leg for a moment. And then rebend into the front knee, pulse forward, and we'll try to just take one fluid step to the top in a forward fold. Inhale, bend into the knees, hands overhead. Exhale to the heart center, and down to the side. Inhale, second round with a different variation. Inhale, the hands overhead. Exhale, forward fold, staying long in the spine. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot back, setting up for warrior two. Align your heels, and then sink into the front knee, aligning your knee over that heel. And again, focus on your back leg, pressing down through the heel and back through the outer edge of the foot. Again, it will open up the groin more by activating that leg. And then bring the arms up to the side. Activate your glutes a little bit, pressing them forward, while simultaneously moving the front knee back over the heel if it was caving in. And gaze out over the right hand. On your next inhale, slide the left hand down the back leg. Inhale into proud warrior, breathing into the chest. And exhale, both hands forward, framing your front leg. Again, straighten for a moment through the front leg. Rebend into the knee. And step into plank. And lower through chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. straight away into Cobra. Inhaling using your back muscles to raise the chest, pressing into the hands. And exhale down. And press back up to plank and up and away into downward dog for a few breaths. Gaze forward and walk to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands high overhead. And exhale to the heart center. And hands down to the side. And rest for a moment. Let your breath come back to its more calm state. Now inhale your fingers, flip your palms to the sky, and we'll make those Tadasana cyclones that we've done before. So inhale, reach upward and flex your palms, fingers towards the sky. And on your exhale, come into a side stretch to the right, and then flex your spine back to come forward with the hands over to the left, inhaling on your way up. And continue that cycle, exhaling when you go to the side and down, and inhaling on your way up. And also bring your attention to the hips, warming them up with making a nice circles that are moving in contrast to your hands. And just go slow and mindfully to explore any areas of tightness in your back or hips or anywhere that comes up. Next time you reach the top, inhale long and reach again, and exhale this time over to the left for opposite circles. And next time you reach the top, inhale one last time and reach long. And exhale your hands down to the side, shaking out your wrists if they got tired from that finger bind. A last big inhale into asana before we move to the ground. Inhale your hands overhead, reach long, and exhale, hinge at your hips, staying long in the spine, in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale your hands down, coming into plank, and then bring your right knee up towards the right hand, and then shuffle your foot out to the side, setting up for pigeon pose. And depending on the flexibility of your hips, your foot might be way back here, might be some people are almost in a 90-degree angle with their knee. Just depends on your hips, but don't overdo it. Listen to your body. And also, if your right hip is severely raised off the ground and you need some support, you can put a block, a pillow, or some blankets in there to offer some support. And you're welcome to stay here, supporting yourself with the fingers and hands. Or if you'd like to go deeper and rest the top half of your body, you can come down onto your elbows or even rest your forehead on your forearms. Breathe into the stretch in your right thigh, hip. And we'll be here for half a minute to a minute, so just let yourself slowly sink into it. You can even feel your breath affecting the opening. Even here, you can link your breath with your hip. It's amazing. Gently come out wherever you were, using your hands for support. Press into your hands so you can gently raise your hip. Maybe straighten through that leg you were working on to gently release any compression around the knee if you had any. And step back into plank. And this time, bring your left knee in towards the left hand. Readjust your foot over to the side based on your own hip flexibility. Welcome to stay here or come forward with the chest onto your forearms. And remember, you can put a pillow or a blanket or block under your raised hip if you need. I have tight hips, so mine are quite raised, but this feels good for me without any support. Well, listen to your body as always. And take some nice, deep, slow, mindful breaths here. Noticing how you can affect the deepness of the stretch with each inhale and exhale. Gently place your hands back down if you were folded forward. Press into the hands, support your knee, and then for a moment straighten out through the left leg to decompress any compression in the left knee or hip. And then shuffle your feet to one side to come into seated wide-legged position. So bring your legs out wide, sort of as much of as in a line as you can. Seated splits. And then place your hands behind your bum and then scoop forward to try to get a little bigger opening. And this one, you could also, some people have really tight hips or tight abs or some belly fat that gets in the way of folding forward. So you could even do this one as a partner stretch where you have your feet touching, making a diamond shape, and you can gently take turns holding on each other's hands. But listening to each other and gently pulling into it, and maybe slowly going further after several breaths. So you can try that as partners, or if you feel like you're going to get a deep enough stretch in a solo pose, that's fine as well. So from here, breathe into the chest, lengthen through the spine, and on an exhale, walk your hands forward until you feel a nice opening all along the inner thigh and groin. Sorry about all that noise if you can hear it today. And then walk your hands over to the left foot for a moment, readjusting, lengthening through the spine, and reaching down over the left leg for an exhale. Inhale back to center, lengthening through the spine. And on an exhale, walk your hands down the right leg for a moment. Inhale, walk back up. Gently bring your knees in. Don't stand up, I'm just checking something. And then come back onto your knees. And for this one, if you have sensitive knees, put an extra blanket down to cover the area where your knees will be, or a small pillow on each knee, as we'll set up into frog pose. And be careful here because this can be an intense one. So shuffle your knees out to the side and then align your knees and heels so they're making an L. And if you're feeling deep enough of an opening here, please stay here because it can be pretty intense. But if you're feeling open and you want to go deeper, you can come down onto your elbows. And also, you can play around with moving your hips a little back and forth before you settle in, and you can find the area of tightness that you need to work on. For me, I feel it when I bring my hips more back. Anyway, find that area and gently ease into the opening. Don't go too deep here. You were down on your elbows. Press back into your palms. Slowly walk in. Support yourself to gently shuffle your feet and knees back in. Come back to the lengthwise of your mat and gently come back into a passive child's pose with the arms down by the legs. Get a nice little counter pose and child's pose here from frog and the wide-legged fold. Inhale. Press into your hands or fingertips. Back up to seated on the heels. Shuffle your feet out to one side to come and lay on your back. Bringing the knees in and then flipping soles of the feet to the sky and reaching through the inside of the legs to grab the outer edge of your feet. And then tug a little down gently with the hands on the heels to open up the groin. And you can stay static here or make any little rocking motions you want to. Massage your back. And then for a moment, straighten through the right leg, maintaining happy baby on the left. Rebend the right knee. And then straighten through the left leg a bit, maintaining happy baby on the right. And then rebend that knee. Slowly release your clasp of your hands on the feet. Place both feet back on the ground. And then bring your right ankle on top of the left thigh. Try to repress your right knee back down so it's parallel or roughly with the ankle. And if you're still pretty tight, you can stay here, pressing into your knee with the right hand, or you can reach behind the left thigh and gently tug in with your hands while actively pressing out through the right knee for a hip opening. And then release your foot back to the ground. Place both feet on the ground. And this time place your left ankle on top of the right thigh. Gently press out on your left knee if you need help opening your hips. And if you can keep that knee open, you can grab behind the right thigh, tugging in on with the hands while actively pressing out on that knee to keep it opening through the groin. And release down. One more active pose here. Bringing the soles of the feet together in a reclined butterfly. And we'll do 5 pulses with the breath in and out of a butterfly bridge. And when you raise the hips, try as much as you can to keep the knees from caving in. You want to keep the groin open so we can strengthen the back as well as continue our focus on the groin and hip opening. And support yourself by placing your hands face down on the ground with a little pressure. And on an inhale, activate your glutes and back muscles to raise the hips off the ground, keeping the knees and groin open. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And this last inhale, hold at the top for a bit. Press into your elbows so you can shuffle the shoulder blades down along the ground toward each other to keep the chest open here as we maintain. And on your next exhale, slowly lower to the ground. Bring the knees back in. Bring your feet out towards the edges of the mat and let your knees drop towards each other to rest the groin for a moment. Maybe massage your thighs or hips or groin or anywhere feels a little overworked or just rightly worked. I think I might add music to this class so you can't hear that cement saw or whatever's going on outside. Hug your knees in. Give yourself a nice squeeze, bringing your chin towards the knees. Inhale here, squeeze, hug. Maintain your inhale. And exhale. Coming straight away into Shavasana. Where this time I won't do any talking. Just let you find your way to relaxation without any distraction. And I'll call you back to wake up in a few moments. Come back to normal awareness, your surroundings, state of deep relaxing. Start to wiggle your fingers, toes, picking up any way you'd like, and roll to one side, supporting yourself in a fetal position. And taking gentle care as you come up, seated position, the eyes closed, and the hands at the heart. Take a moment of gratitude for the practice of yoga, for yourself, giving yourself some time for healthy body and mind practice today. And just gratitude for yourself and all the unique gifts you have to share with everyone you meet. As always, I hope the practice brought you some opening, relaxation, peace in your body, consequently your mind. Thank you.